when good food goes bad. Oh my god, if this isn't an omen. You will not enjoy this. It will not be over quickly. Interrupting myself prematurely here to just make the side comment and stress. This movie sucks. My god, does it suck. Hopefully to the point that all other movies I do after this are going to be a lot easier to watch and a lot easier to review. I wanted to get this movie out of the way. I survived. Hopefully other movies are going to be more structured. The review is not going to be a long form review. It's not going to be me just rambling. So before I ramble about my warning on rambling, let's get to Foodfight with my reviews edited and put in where I think they are the best from an overly long take. Hey YouTube, it's Waffle. Welcome to episode number 1 of $1 DVD. And yeah, we're actually going to do it with this one. Yeah, so this is the movie Foodfight. Internet Movie Database says it came out in 2012. And it currently enjoys a 1.8 star rating. Fun. All of the movies in $1 DVD cost $1 each. I wanted to make sure that I was upfront and clear about that, because I believe there was some ambiguity in my teaser on my Video 100 State of the Channel preview. So yes, I have not seen this. You can see the wrapper shine right there. I have not seen this, and probably that's for the best, given that rating I was just talking about. What I did with the Rocky video, and the segment that made it actually onto the channel, I thought was a best practice for movies I haven't seen going forward. Namely, that I show you that I haven't, seen it yet, and that I just make my first observations based on the covers. First off, I think it's interesting that the casting is interesting, and not just from the selection standpoint, just from the actual position. I'm not in the industry, obviously. I can only surmise that, frankly, money comes down to where you get placed on this. We have Charlie Sheen, Eva Longoria, okay, and then we go on to Hilary Duff and Wayne Brady, which I kind of think are interesting choices. I'm not a slight to either of them in the least, just when I flipped it over here, see if I can find it down there, I saw other names that I thought should be higher. Chris Kattan, the SNL guy, and Christopher Lloyd. And they aren't, up front. And I just thought that was interesting. I'm assuming it probably owes to the length of time they're on screen, because, again, no small parts, only small actors, right? I bought this DVD. It was $1. I didn't really think too much of it. And then I haven't heard anything good about it. Let me put it that way. So, let me open up the DVD, and I'll get back to you after I've seen it. I knew some of these things were going to be lemons. This is a lemon orchard. Oh my god. And part of me wanted to do it, this movie first, because I discovered how bad it was, okay? I mean, it's at Dollar Tree, so, that's red flag there, but I have much better movies from Dollar Tree, like movies you've heard of. So, I always said that Foodfight would, be the spirit of the project. Maybe next time I won't pick a movie that has a 1.8 star rating on Internet Movie Database. This movie is bad. Consequently, the contagion here is that this review, I'm not going to say this review is going to be bad, but hopefully my other reviews are going to be a lot better. There is so many things. Is so many things? Are so many. It's even affecting my grammar. There are so many things wrong with this. 1 page. 2 pages. And you want to call that half a page? Go ahead. From that, I have cut it down some. And by no means did I capture everything that was wrong with the film. We're not even going to get into the actual movie yet. We're going to look at the jacket some more here. This is great. I'm a one-man operation talking about a movie that probably had too many people working on it. So, there's some karmic justice there. A point right here. Don't know if you guys can see that on screen. That's what I was getting at. One-man operation. Can't be in front of and behind the camera at the same time. Hopefully that came through for you. Foodfight, copyright 2012, Fireman's Fund Insurance Company. Right down here where my finger is. Don't know if you can see that. Fireman's Fund. Well, that's convenient. I got it at a fire sale. Oh my god. Okay, so the studios behind this is Threshold Animation. Should have been Threshold of Pain Animation. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a preview on this DVD for Top Cat, the movie, which, unlike Foodfight, hopefully a few of you have heard of Top Cat. Animated cartoon. I think, definitely before my time, but, definitely fits in. I want to say Hanna-Barbera. I want to say Flintstones, Snagglepuss. I want to say that Orbit, a known quantity, I believe is the term. Yeah, they couldn't even get that right. They had a preview for Top Cat and his gang, his movie. And one of the financial backers for it was Office Max. And I'm not even sure where Office Max is nowadays, because Office Depot bought it, or one or the other, but all I'm saying is that the preview in and of itself for another movie ultimately didn't bode well. Yeah. Says here on the back, the movie is rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Some material may not be suitable for children. All of it not suitable for anybody. I watched this movie 2.5 times. Not because it was good, but because it was so bad. So bad. Like Power Glove. I would like to give you a synopsis, but I'm not entirely sure. Has a retiring dog detective. They actually call him Dog Detective. Dex Dog Detective. Yeah. Okay, this is the main character. This is what they led with. And we go downhill from here. Dex Dog Detective has to save his... The first scene is he is popping the question to a cat that sells raisins. Yes. So, I don't... Anyway, cats and dogs, murder in the streets. Dex Dog Detective wants to propose to Sunshine Cat. I mean, okay, yes, YouTube. I'm turning this on just a bit of the shtick, but it's confusing. Dog wants to propose to a cat, and the dog is an off-brand of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I wanted to save this for later, but okay, this is the actual jacket, okay? You have Charlie, you have the Vlasic Pickle Stork, and Twinkie the Kid, okay? Actual Ikes, and we'll get into Ikes in a second. The whole entire crap fest is so circular in its own logic, if you can call it that I have to start somewhere. Somebody, somewhere, spent, I am assuming, good money to get the actual, icons. And then you have the two main characters down here for Cinnamon Sleuth, and Sunshine Raisins. Which, okay, the actual 1980s California Raisins are in this. Okay, they got brought out of retirement the California raisins. You know, the claymation California raisins that are as old as I am? Yeah. They made that happen. And the lead female character is off-brand raisins. Again, the logic is circular, if non-existent. A dog proposes to a cat, but before he can do that, the rest of the movie. Take a break here and let me talk about the one positive. The one positive that I liked about this. Tons of food puns. And tons of innuendos and near misses with curse words. We'll get into that in a second. The great movie puns included 12 Hungry Men and Requiem for a Whipped Cream. Personally, I love Requiem for a Dream. I have it over here. My DVD shelf over here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say this. I would rather have kids watch Requiem for a Dream than Foodfight. Yeah. Also, I'm fresh off of watching Watership Down on Netflix. Similar attitude there. Sausage Party. That R-rated movie a couple years ago. Sausage Party. Better movie than this. At least in that movie, they were honest. And when they wanted to say a curse word, they said a curse word. It's kind of a double standard when you go for Kiss My Additive and Chip-Faced, and you don't go for the actual curse word. Okay, you're lying to yourself. Okay, there is a level. Okay, I'm not saying it's 100% dishonest, but have the gumption, have the spirit, okay, to go out and do what you want to do in an artistic medium. I counted, there's like at least 5 different times where, okay, right here, okay, they use the expression chip-faced, which means one, you know, innuendo at a curse word. And then they say chip-slapped, okay? Chip-faced, chip-slapped. C-H-I-P. Chip-faced. One of the characters gets drunk and collapses on the counter, on the bar. Okay? Chip-faced, I think we all get, okay? But in the exact same film, they say chip-slapped. Okay? I mean, it's not even following its own logic, if it had any. The C-H-I-P now becomes 2 different curse words. The animation, why is a movie suffering frame skip? Okay? Okay, granted, it's computer animated. It's a computer animated film, okay? But it suffers from frame skips. If you want to get a true notion of what this movie, called a movie, what this movie is like, look at any video game from like early 90s onward, you know, 2D platformer, and look at a character's idle animation and or victory pose, either from a fighter or an RPG, when a character has, you know, is victorious from the battle, either the fight or in an RPG, the random encounter. The throwaway animations that a character does to either celebrate and or draw attention to the fact that you're not moving the character on the screen. Those type of animations. Make a movie out of that, and then you will approach Foodfight. You got the detective dog detective Dex, and Sunshine Raisin Girl, Cat, whatever. Wouldn't surprise me if her name was Cat, but I can't even think of her name right now. You know, as in Catherine. Wayne Brady is in this film, and he is a squirrel, and I believe he's a milk chocolate tie-in. He's an Ike, which Ike. Okay, that's. They keep on using this term Ike, and by process of elimination, you have to guess eventually that they mean product icon. The movie is so bad that they have a character speaking his vendetta, you know, the "hello, you killed my father" type speech, over a long shot, establishing shot of his product, a bag of chips, on a supermarket shelf. I mean, the whole entire movie takes place in a supermarket, right? But they just have a long shot of bags, multiple, shelf space, the good 3 foot by 6 or whatever bay shelf of chips, and one voice is speaking. No mouth is moving. From context, it's the mascot for the product, but they don't even close up, zoom in on one particular bag. You don't know where the voice is coming from. Another thing that's totally confusing and works only because the plot demands it. Dex, the dog detective, is, on the verge of retiring. He actually goes out of retirement when Kat gets kidnapped. Yeah, I mean, I'm dropping the ball on the plot, but so did they. The to-be fiancé, Kat, gets kidnapped. It's the whole entire premise of the movie. And working on that case of, the missing wife-to-be puts the dog detective into retirement. And all the characters are like, oh, well, that's okay. You always have your nightclub to fall back on. And it's like, okay. I don't know that many detectives to begin with. But I don't think they also can afford to run a nightclub. And on top of that, he goes back to running his nightclub without any other sign of his, assistant manager or who runs the club in instead. No, he just goes to the club, and they treat it like a movie premiere. And I'm just like, okay, here's a big movie premiere for our club that we've always had, but looks like it's a grand opening. I also love the irony that Wayne Brady's character, the chocolate squirrel, yes, they chocolate Wayne Brady, some assembly required. At 15 minutes, the chocolate squirrel that drives a plane crashes his plane into a tree of cookie baking gnomes. Cookie baking gnomes. Okay? Again, this is the cover of the DVD. And we're talking about cookie baking gnomes. Okay? I think you understand what I'm not saying there. Yeah, so, crashes his plane. I would have loved for it to be a train, and then I could just call this the train wreck that it is. Okay, so I'm going to have to do some more exposition on the plot now, because the rest of it's not going to make any sense. Christopher Lloyd, love him, glad that he's back in a film, is the vendor for Brand X. And no, that's not even that I don't want to name the name. The actual name is Brand X. Name of products that want to take over the supermarket. Brand X gets onto the shelves, and they're trying to dominate the supermarket with their brands and all their lines and all their products. The movie takes a decided World War II turn, but it also takes a decided Indiana Jones turn. This movie tries to be everything and fails at everything at the same time. The femme fatale from Brand X is trying to seduce Dex Dog Detective and have him convert over to the Brand X ideology, mythology, mythos of, I guess, submitting to Brand X. Anyway, there's a song 19 minutes in. Yeah, again, 19 minutes. So much wrong with this movie. A song called The Cat's Meow. If you remember the 1999, I believe it was, song Living La Vida Loca, you have heard The Cat's Meow. Okay? A grace note here or there, one minor change, but it's Living La Vida Loca. Which, again, it's the nail on the head for the whole entire movie. All of the Ikes that are on screen that have names are members of the USDA. That's the United Supermarket Defense Agency. To protect and serve ourselves. See, that's the thing. There are shining moments in this film that you can tell somebody who knew what they were doing either put in all that they had, or they were relieved of their duty on this film. Multiple people picked up this film and put it back down in a worse condition. Another thing that's totally out of place is that Dex Detective, continuing with the story here, eventually discovers that the California Cat Sunshine Raisin Girl, not the California Raisins, Sunshine Goodness, I think her name was, has been recalled at the hands of Brand X, which they never really explain. The plot demands that the main character make it over to the one computer in the whole entire supermarket to do research. Why does a supermarket in 2012, okay, yeah, it's 2019 now, movie came out in 2012. Have you been to a supermarket since 2000? And there's only been one computer. One computer in the whole entire supermarket, and a shoehorned in chance for IBM to get its icon out of the computer, quite literally, and oversimplify and force 3 plot points in a row. It's a little animated pixie sprite film strip double helix lanky character that, in rudimentary terms, helps voice assist Dex with what he needs to do with the recall. Basic terms like create, edit. If it were in Windows, and it wasn't, it'd be the top line, the file, the save, the help, doing at the top of the bar in Windows. Probably be Windows 3.1. At this point. The IBM Ike takes its time with Dex's commands and conveniently mishears what he wants to do. He wants to submit a recall to recall Brand X, and the computer puts up that Sunshine Goodness was recalled first. Okay, I want to send out a recall to recall Brand X, but the computer sends in saying, oh, by the way, because you need to know this for the film, your girlfriend was recalled a week ago. Not that you asked for that, but here you go, let me do your job for you. And so while they're doing that, the main characters, Brand X, it's a whole entire posse, and we're not even getting into the Lieutenant Commander, second in command, reptilian Frankenstein. His position was needed, but all of the character choices of this one guy. Okay, he actually says, I think I just wet myself. It was rather enjoyable. Yes. Anyway, he's the henchman, the second in command, at behest of the femme fatale singing La Vida Loca. Excuse me, the cat's meow. While Dex Detective is trying to submit the recall, they seal the door up with this instant glue. Loony glue. It's really crazy that in a movie with food icons right on the cover, it's really crazy they couldn't come up with a better name than Loony Glue. Again, Brand X is an allegory for World War II and the Nazis. Again, it's a kid's movie, but they go to some length to basically say, hey, this is World War II, we're Nazis. I'm not trying to say one way or another, that's just a deliberate choice the movie made. Insert your own judgments here. You have the two factions gearing up for battle, and this, right before the final battle, right before the denouement, there is a song that I tried Shazamming. Not entirely sure what the name of the song is, but it's the one where it's a montage, and they show both sides, getting the ammunition, gathering everything together, basically selecting a loadout. You see both sides, you know, line in the sand. Here's how we're going to battle these people. Here's how we are preparing. Awesome song. And yes, the California Raisins are singing it. And I just about get into the song, and then the movie decides, nope, that's enough of that song. That's enough of anything good in the whole entire movie. And they ruin it with dialogue or some other thing that's not the best thing in the movie. There are various food-type weapons. The tanks are ketchup bottles that are hitting it, try to get the ketchup out like a cannon. But the problem is that, again, this is an animated film. You know, they have this, and they have the motion. They you know, flip the camera angle to the other side, and they come back, and you see this again, without, there was no payoff. There was no ammunition was engaged. No ammunition was used. So they repeated a lot of frames. It's like the animators didn't even want to stick around to do the full thing on the film. I know I've mentioned the 5 near misses with the curse words, but there's one moment with those curse words that how I believe it's Charlie Sheen, of all people. Charlie Sheen was the voice for Dex Dog Detective. Charlie Sheen actually had to say, cold farted itch. Okay? C for cold, F for farted, and I for itch. Cold farted itch. Okay? Want to make sure we're clear that that's what he said, because it's what he said. He calls the femme fatale of Brand X a cold farted itch. Okay. I just want to know how many times he had to say that. How many takes it took him to A, comprehend what he was saying, to comprehend what he wasn't saying, and to get through saying that line with a straight face, not thinking in the back of his head that this movie is going to tank. I mean, the whole entire movie is a cold farted itch. In summary, Foodfight had 45 brands. And what I mean by that is that I actually counted at the end of the credits, Casey the Penguin and Kid Cuisine is owned by this company. That Charlie the Tuna is owned by, whatever company he's owned by, etc. 45 different brands signed on for this. None of them wanted to be... Dex's main cereal is Cinnamon Sleuth. Okay, they didn't want to get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They didn't want to get... I don't know if Cinnamon Toast Crunch has a rival, but what I'm saying is that 45 brands said yes, and then basically said, nah, okay. You can't... I don't understand how you can get that many brands on a film and not do anything with it. Interesting also that, and I assume this has to be in every movie, or the credits, I assume there's a functionary here for, okay, most movies that aren't predestined to be blockbusters, that aren't, again, known quantities, there was a completion guarantee. Some, I'm assuming, UK version or French version of the word guarantee. Completion guaranteed provided by international film guarantors, and 2 additional rounds of funding for this film. So you think they would have known that this didn't end up well. You ever have a term project in college where you do all the work and everybody else slacks off? Compare this to this.